Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. My name's Kate. I'm going to guide you through a lovely flow practice today. You will possibly need one bolster or a large cushion for the end of the practice, but apart from that, you just need yourself and your mat, and I will meet you there in a moment. So for today's practice, we are going to be doing lots of movement. We are going to be getting the rhythm of flow going in our bodies. Yay. We're going to be moving quite a lot and then we'll come down and rest. So this is a flow sort of practice that is, I'd say, maybe beginner intermediate. So don't worry too much about what you can and can't do. The sole purpose of this practice today is to challenge your brain as well as your body. So really what we're looking for is allowing our brains to go, where, how? So creating that kind of cerebellum activity, so the hindbrain, the back of the brain, where all of this kind of coordination, accuracy of movement, balance is really good for us, and learning new skills, so learning new ways to move to actually improve on our cerebellum. So generally speaking, if you do the same sequence day in, day out, week in, week out, it's not bad for us necessarily, but it's not going to be generating new neurons in parts of our brain that want to fire up. So this is going to be fun. If you get lost or confused, don't worry, just pick up where you can. We are going to be flipping round the back of our mats at a certain point. So if that means you want to have your mat side on to me so that you can still see me, depending on what side you're at, do that so that you can see left and right, front and back more easily. But if you quite like the challenge of not being able to see me as you're facing the back of your mat and having to listen, then have a little play with that as well. So just remember that being wrong doesn't matter. If you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. This is a great way for you to learn and develop new skills in your body and in your mind and in your emotions and everything else. And what I want us to think about as we're practicing, put my teeth back in, is that movement of fluidity. So every posture is going to kind of blend into the next one and move, and almost like there is no beginning and no end. It's all just evolving and changing and shifting. So if you have any variation you want to add in today, anything you want to play and practice yourself, pop it in and just be as creative as you'd like. So we're going to start by actually standing up. And we're going to come to the top of our mats so that we can begin the movement pretty quick. Yay. Now our first round is going to be a little bit slower so that we can learn the sequence. It's important we have to learn something, right, before we can then actually go and do it a million times faster. We're not going to do it a million times faster, I don't want to freak you out. And then we're going to do the second side, same speed, cementing that movement a little bit into the brain. And then we'll go a little bit more smoothly. So a little bit faster maybe, a little bit more smoothly. So first let's get the rhythm of the breath moving, breathing into your belly, allowing there to be this felt experience as you practice today, thinking about how we can enjoy this flow of breath with our bodies. They don't always have to perfectly sync, but they're moving in this rhythm that allows us to kind of synchronize our breath as best we like with our bodies. And we'll start our movement by inhaling, the arms will reach up to the sky, and exhaling, let them float back down towards the legs. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhaling, sweep the arms up to the sky, the palms might touch, and exhale, float them back down. 1 more time. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. Leave the palms close together this time. And we'll step back with the left leg, bending the right knee as we slice the arms through the air towards the front of the right knee, and then separate the hands at the knee, sweeping the arms back, up and over the head. We'll do that a couple of times. Arms slice through the air, separate at the knee, and bring the arms back, up and over. 1 more time. Arms slice through the sky, separate at the knee, sweep back, up and over. Good. Palms come to earth. Just hold this pose for a moment, squeezing the buttocks, checking that we're pushing that left hip slightly forward to open up into the hip flexor. One more breath, inhale. Now as we exhale, let's slice back down through the air with the arms, and we're going to come to the inside of that right leg. We're going to the other side, so we're going to come through a little goddess pose, turning to the back of the mat. Left foot's now our front leg, and we windmill open the right arm into warrior two. So we've had to spin on our feet slightly to come into this position. And we're just going to hold the warrior two, get as comfortable as you can here, feeling your body, checking in with your breath. We tend to know warrior two quite well, right? So this is a nice one just to come into and go, I know where I'm at. Now let's bring the right arm down the right leg, reverse the warrior, try and keep the deep lunge. And then bring that left arm all the way down to the left thigh and bring the right arm over the head, side angle. And just continue this flow a couple more times. Right arm goes down the right leg, left arm comes over, left arm comes to the left thigh, right arm goes over. Beautiful. One more time. Right arm comes down the right leg, left arm flies over, and the left arm comes to the left thigh, right arm comes over the head. Now continue the circle. Right arm's going to come down to the floor as we drop the right knee down. So we have to pivot on the ball of the right foot. Little lunge position. And then sink into the hips and just twist the left arm up to the sky and get a lovely opening through the chest, pushing strongly down through that right hand and just twist open as much as it feels nice for your body. One more breath. We'll frame the left foot with the left hand. And then tuck the right toes and see if we can lift the right knee off the ground. Now we don't have to straighten both legs in our pyramid pose. We can bend the front knee, bend the back knee. We can wiggle the hips around a little bit for the first round as we're just feeling into the shape. And if you find it really challenging with your hands on the floor, walk your hands up your shin or your thigh. And you don't have to have the back heel grounded. It can be off the floor. So we're just playing with movement, seeing where we feel the stretch and the opening. Now reaching the left arm down the left leg, we'll turn out the right foot so the heel comes into the ground, and we'll lift that right arm up to the sky so we come into triangle pose. Gorgeous. And then just breathe here for a couple of breaths, noticing where you feel the pull, the tug. Can we get that beautiful thoracic spinal twist? Maybe looking up to the right hand or down to the left foot or wherever your neck feels the most comfortable. As we push upwards, imagine someone's taken hold of your right arm there, lifting you up to standing. We're going to turn back to the top of the mat. So we pivot on the feet, hands can come to the hips. So we're bending into that right knee again. And we can stay in this nice deep lunge position, or we can lift up into our warrior three. Now warrior three doesn't have to be vertical with the floor. You can just have a little elevation of the back foot, little softening in the right knee, or we can start to tilt from the pelvis and having a little explore of where our bodies can go and where we can hold the position. Just keep breathing and feel the energy required to hold the position. So we'll take the left toes back, drop them down into the earth, and as we lower the left knee, we can either place the hands to the right thigh or we can sweep the arms up. Now the most of the weight is in the right heel so that we have a soft landing on our left knee. And we lift the arms up and we'll drape this left arm back towards the left leg. Either the hand can come to the buttock and the back, it can come towards the hamstring, the calf muscle, or even the heel if you can reach. This can be anatomical. But what I want you to think about is that left hip is pushing forward and we're opening up the chest. So if we can't reach somewhere down the leg, then take the hand to the lower back and open up the heart center. Get the feeling of the pose as opposed to what it looks like. Good, we'll windmill the hands down in front, so either side of the right foot, and slide that right leg back to a three-legged tabletop position. Right leg extends back. Just holding here for a moment. Tucking the right toes down into the earth, straight leg, and we'll push through the hands to draw that left knee in towards the chest. Maybe drawing the chin a little bit as well, getting a full rounding through the spine. Breathing, feel that fire engaging in the body, that heat. And then pushing back, three-legged downward facing dog. Left leg can go up. If this is a bit of a challenge for your body today, drop the right knee down and then lift up into three-legged tabletop again. Or just play with this movement here, three-legged down dog, have a little explore. Just notice what's happening in the body, breath, heat. Good, we'll join the feet back together and we'll come onto all fours again. So drop the knees down softly into the earth. Tabletop. Extending the left leg back, that's the right leg back, I'm mistaken, and bring the right arm over your head. Nice big side stretch, and if you fancy it, maybe elevate that right leg up, so you're growing from toes to fingers, stretching out the whole entire body. Breathing. Now this is a funky transition, so pay attention. I'll try and get my lefts and rights right. So if that right leg is lifted, drop the leg back into the floor, bend the knee and ground the right foot. Toes are going to face towards the back of the mat. Now we're going to bring, so you can use your right hands to help, your right fingertips to help you. We're going to slide the left foot next to the right and drop the bum down to the floor. So we're facing the back of our mats. Then we slide the legs straight. And that right arm is going to reach to the left leg or foot, whether you can anatomically reach with your arm. And we twist towards the left, lifting that left arm up and over the head. So it's a little bit of a side stretch twist, a little bit of a hamstring pull. Then this left arm is going to cross over the right and grab hold of anywhere we can reach on the right leg. And then pull back to lengthen through the spine. So in that lovely opening to the back of the legs and the chest as best we can. Good. Lifting the arms up. So you have your left arm crossed over your right. And we bend the elbows, sliding the hands towards either the shoulders, or we can eagle the arms, bringing the palms together. Then we're going to slide the feet in. You can either do this in Savasana with the toes on the floor, or extending one leg and then the other, or both legs can come up, maybe bent knees or straight legs, finding that little bit of balance where it feels the most interesting for your body. So you've got your options. Good. Now we're going to come down onto the back. The legs are actually going to go up as the body comes down, keeping those eagled arms. And then imagine you're just taking off a jumper, arms go over the head, we cactus the arms, and just let the legs float up to the sky for a moment. See if the lower back can soften down into the floor. And we breathe. Now we can either do this with straight legs or bent knees. I'm going to bend the knees. And we'll drop our knees over to the left side, coming into a reclined twist. Leave the arms where they are. And if your right shoulder floats off the floor, it's absolutely fine. We don't need to try and shove that shoulder down, but we can always just slide the left shoulder blade along a little bit to the left side if you would like to. And just breathe here. So we'll bring that right arm all the way round to the side, coming into the little fetal position first. And we push down through the right hand to lift the body up and then place the left hand back into the mat. Now you might want to slide that right leg back, so we're in a mermaid twist position. So we're looking over the left shoulder. We're now facing back to the top of the mat. Yay. Back to the center. And then maybe sweeping that right leg all the way round over the left, either straight left leg or bent knee. So you can extend the left leg if this feels uncomfortable, or you can keep the knee bent. And we wrap around the right leg, either hand or arm, and twist towards the right side, maybe looking back over the right shoulder. We've got 3 variations to come back to standing. I've been nice to you. Variation 1, the most brain thinking variation. Hand comes to the floor. We can only really spin one way. Trust me. We come all the way round. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and step to the top of the mat. Variation 2, if that's like, oh my gosh, can't do that. We just push into the right foot and join the left foot together. And variation 3, obviously a little bit soft on the knees. We join the feet back together, bring the hands to the floor, and then make our way up to standing slowly. Please don't worry if it doesn't feel graceful. Movement doesn't have to be graceful to be fluid, but get into that awareness of fluidity through your body as opposed to it having to be beautiful. So we're going to take it to the second side. I'm just going to turn on my mat so you can still see me. So inhale, sweep the arms up. 3 times we do this. Inhaling, exhale, arms float down. When we go quicker, we'll only do it once. Inhale, lift the arms up. Using your breath here. Exhale, floating the arms back down. Last time, inhale, reach the arms up. This time the palms will connect together and we'll stay here. As we step the right leg back into our lunge, the arms will slice through the air, separating at the knee, taking the arms back, up and over the head. Let's do this 2 more times. We come down, separate at the knee, back, up and over. Good. 1 more time. Coming down, back, up and over, and pausing in that high lunge, squeezing the buttocks, extending the arms high to the sky. Remember, we're going to the back of the mat now, so you've got to come down through the center, the inside of the left leg, come through a bit of a goddess squat, and travel so that the right foot is now facing to the back of the mat. We windmill the left arm open into warrior 2. Get comfortable in your warrior 2, so feel that position in your body first. Then let's reverse it. Left arm comes down the left leg, right arm comes over the head. Right forearm comes to the right thigh, left arm goes over the head. And again, left arm goes down the left leg, right arm reaches up and over. Right arm comes to the right thigh, left arm flies up and over. 1 more time. Left arm goes back, right arm goes over. Right arm goes down, left arm goes over. Complete the circle, so we circle that left arm all the way down to the earth, dropping the left knee down, pivoting on the left ball of the foot, finding your lunge, and then twisting as we lift up that right arm, pushing down through the left hand. Just enjoy that twist in your body for a moment. Now we'll frame the right foot with the hands and begin to straighten into your legs. Remember, they don't have to be fully straight. You can bend your front knee or your back, and you can just play with it a bit of movement here. Maybe your hands need to come a little bit higher up the shin or even the thigh to aid that movement in your body, especially if the hamstrings are feeling tight. Good. And then we open up the left foot, so the left heel grounds. Right hand comes to the shin or maybe the thigh as we open up the left arm into triangle pose. Breathe here for a moment. Just get that twist in your upper spine. You should feel a nice tug through the inner thigh, maybe just feeling the sensations of hip opening, twisting into your spine. Good, we'll lift the body up. Imagine you're being pulled up by your left arm all the way back up to standing. Hands come to the hips. We're turning back to the top of the mat. So we pivot back to the left foot and we either stay in this kind of extended lunge position or we lift off into that warrior 3 variation. We can come into that parallel or we can just stay somewhere where we feel we're activating all the muscles that need to be on, but we're staying in a place where we feel we can hold the balance. Don't worry if you wobble, the wobble is good. So we step back with the right foot, and as we lower the right knee down, either hands come to the thigh or we sweep the arms up. Simultaneously, we're lowering as we're lifting. Try and bring all that weight, about 80% of the weight, into the front foot so the right knee has a soft landing. Good. Right arm's then going to come down, either to back, kind of glute area, hamstring, calf, or even the heel. But the importance is this right hip is pushing forward and we're trying to square off the shoulders. We are going to be squeezing our buttocks because we're in a bit of a back bend here, so don't forget to engage your glutes. Okay, we'll windmill the hands all the way forward, framing that left foot, and extend the left leg back into 3-legged tabletop position. And we'll just hold here for a moment. Check there's a little bit of even distribution of weight between your left hand and your right knee. And then tucking the left toe, straight leg, The right knee pulls in towards the chest. Pull it in. Maybe tucking the nose in. Feeling that strong activation through your arms. And then pushing back to three-legged down dog, right leg extends. If you need to come into three-legged tabletop, drop that left knee. And you can just move that leg around a little bit, have a little bit of a play here if that feels good. Good, join the feet back together. We'll drop the knees softly back into tabletop position and extend left leg back, left arm over the head. Side plank variation, maybe lifting that left leg off the floor if that feels good, if it feels really nice and balanced and strong, or even if it feels wobbly. Remember this funky transition. So left foot comes back down to the floor, it's floating, and bend the knee and ground the foot so the toes face the back of your mat. You can use your left hand, or you don't need to if your right arm feels strong enough, to place your right foot next to your left and drop the bum down to the floor. So we're now facing the back of the mat. We slide the legs straight and we reach left arm towards right leg or foot. And we lift that right arm up as we twist the right into a little side stretch variation. Then continue the journey. Right arm comes all the way over and across to the left leg and pull back. So if you've got your feet, if you can reach your feet, pull back on your toes. If you're grabbing hold of the shins, just pull back and try and extend through the spine as best you can. Now we're going to very slowly lift the arms up. Right arm is over left, and we either bend the elbows to take the hands to the shoulders, or we bring the palms together in our eagle position. Sliding the legs into boat position, Savasana, so we can keep the toes down. We can alternate leg lifts, or we can hold the legs up, either bent knees or straight legs. Depends where your body wants to be right now. Keep breathing. Now, as we come down, we let the legs go up, and then allow the arms to unravel, like we're taking off a jumper, and drop them into a cactus position. And let the legs float here for a moment. No effort needed. We'll bend at the knees or keep the legs straight, up to you, and drop the knees over to the right side into a twist. Don't worry if your left shoulder comes off the floor. Just feel that release in your spine. Take a few moments to breathe here. Your left arm's then going to come all the way over and round with you into that little fetal position. And we can push down into that left hand to lift the torso up, maybe sliding the left leg away, and then bring the right hand to the centre of the mat so we can twist and look over the right shoulder. A little bit of a mermaid twist. Feels great on my spine and my tummy. Then we might need to shift this right knee a little bit further into the centre so that the left leg can come over. Now you can straighten the right leg or keep the knee bent. And then maybe wrapping that right hand or arm around the left leg and twisting towards the left side. Just keep the breath moving here. Now remember our options. Option 1, we spin to the right. I laugh because I'm like, you can only go one way, but it can be really hard on the brain. Spin, 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 step feet together. Option number 2. We step the left foot into the floor, push up and stand. And option number 3, we join the feet back together, hands to the ground, and we make our way to the top of the mat slowly. We made it side 2. So we're going to go a little bit quicker. It's not going to be mad. We're just going to try and combine everything together. If you're like, oh my goodness, can't remember my left and rights all of a sudden, don't know where the back and front of the mat is, don't panic. Getting it wrong is learning. So if you're thinking, I just don't know where I am, just keep going and you'll be fine. I promise. So remember doing kind of one move, one pose, we're not going to do any repetitions of poses on the one side. So here we go. Inhale, lift the arms up, palms come together. Exhale, left leg back, lunging the right knee, and slice the arms through the sky. They separate the knee, go back, up, and over the head to that nice big high lunge. We slide the arms down through the center, come through our goddess pose. We're going to the back of the mat. As we open up to warrior 2, Left foot's forward, right leg's back. And then we reverse it. Right arm goes down the right leg, left arm comes over. Good. Left arm then comes to the left thigh, right arm comes over, side angle. And keep going. That right hand's going to come down to the earth, dropping the right knee to the floor and twisting the left arm up. Left hand will then come down to the outside of the left foot and will straighten into the legs-ish. You can walk your hands up your shin straight away. Turning out the right foot, left hand, left shin, and open up that right arm to our triangle pose. We push all the way up to standing, turning back to the top of your mat, hands to the hips, and either extended lunge or warrior three. Left leg elevated, slight bend in your right knee. Tuck the toes back down to the earth. As we lower the left knee slowly, the arms might travel up to the sky. Once we've landed that knee, we drape that left arm back, pushing the left hip forward and opening up through the chest. Windmill the hands in front so they're either side of the right foot, and slide the right leg back to three-legged tabletop, tucking the toes, straight leg, left knee into the chest, and then push back three-legged downward facing dog, left leg elevated. Join the feet together, knees come down to the floor, and we extend right leg, right arm over the head, maybe lifting up that right leg. Bend the knee, ground the right foot into the floor. You can use your right fingertips for balance and step the left foot next to the right, dropping the bum down to the floor, facing the back of the mat. We extend the legs. Right arm reaches to the left leg, twisting and sweeping that left arm up and over to then catch hold of the right leg. Eagle the arms or grab the shoulders, slide the legs into our boat pose, and then we're lowering down onto the back. So as we lower down, arms go up and over the head into a cactus pose. We bend the knees, drop them over to the left side to twist. Find the twist first, and then let the right arm come with you into that fetal pose. Maybe just shift the right leg back, push through the right hand. Left hand joins into the center of the mat, and we twist and look over the left shoulder. Good, left knee might need to come into the center slightly, or we straighten the leg, and we sweep the right leg over, twisting to the right, looking over the right shoulder. Remember your three options, either spinning, standing, or coming up slowly, all the way to the top of the mat, finding that center. And again, inhale, lift the arms up, palms connect. Exhale, right leg lunges back, slicing through the air with the hands. They separated the left knee and travel back, up and over the head. Coming back through the center, we go through our goddess shape, travel to the back of the mat and open to warrior two. Left arm goes down the left leg, right arm comes over. Right arm comes to the right thigh, left arm goes over, and keep this movement going till the left hand touches the floor, the left knee comes down, and we twist the right arm up. We come into that pyramid shape, so straighten the legs and open up the left foot so we can then open up the left arm into our triangle pose. Good, coming all the way up to standing, hands to the hips, turn back to the top of your mat, and we push into that warrior three or extended lunge. Tucking the toes of the right foot into the earth, as we lower the right knee, the arms travel up, move slowly and controlled. Right arm comes down the right leg or back, and push the right hip forward, open the chest. Windmill the hands to frame the left foot, and then slide that left leg back, three-legged tabletop position. Tucking the left toes, pull the right knee in towards the chest, and then push back three-legged downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up. Joining the feet together, knees come down towards the earth into tabletop. Left leg extends back, left arm over the head, maybe lifting the left leg. Bending the left knee, ground the left foot, toes face the back of the mat, and we step the right foot to join, drop the bum to the floor. Extending your legs. Left arm reaches towards the right leg and we windmill this right arm up and over to then grab hold of the left foot with the right hand. Pull back. Eagle the arms or grab the shoulders, coming through our boat pose. Any variation, whether it's alternating legs, both or toes to the ground. And we come onto the back as the legs go up. Unraveling the arms, like we're taking off a jumper into cactus. Bend the knees, drop them to the right side into our twist. Let the knees land first, and then bring that left arm over into that little fetal pose. Left hand presses to the floor as the left leg goes back, and we bring the right hand into the center of the mat to twist and look over the right shoulder. Good. Right knee might need to come into the center. Left leg sweeps over. You can extend your right leg. Wrapping that right arm around the left as we twist and look over the left shoulder. Remembering your options, spinning round to the top or pushing into the foot or standing up slowly, coming back to standing. We have 2 more times, one each side. Here we go. Arms come up, inhale, palms connect. Left leg steps back through that lunge. Arms go back, up and over. Palms together. We slice through the air, come through that goddess shape to our warrior 2 facing the back of the mat. Right arm over. Right arm goes down the right leg, left arm comes over. And then we come through the side angle. Left arm to the left thigh, right arm glides all the way over, down to the earth, dropping the knee down and twisting the left arm up to the sky. Come through our pyramid shape, so we straighten into the legs. Maybe taking that left hand to the shin and opening the right foot and winging open that right arm to our triangle. We lift up to standing, hands to the hips, turn to the top of your mat and push into that warrior 3. Good. Dropping the left toes into the earth as the arms lift up to the sky, slow, lower down. Left hand comes towards the left leg, heel, calf, wherever you want to reach. Arm goes over the head. We windmill down to frame the right foot, sliding the right leg back, 3-legged tabletop. And then tuck the toes, push into that 3-legged plank technically, and then push back 3-legged downward facing dog. Feet join together, knees slowly lower down to the earth. Extend the right leg, right arm, maybe lifting that right leg up. Bending the right knee, grounding the right foot, toes face the back of the mat, and we join the left to the right. Drop the bum to the floor. Extending the legs. Right arm reaches to the left as we sweep that left arm over and around to the right. Elevating the arms, cactus or shoulders with the hands. Cactus with eagle. Sliding the feet in, Navasana. And we'll come onto the back. Legs go up. Arms unravel into that cactus pose. We bend at the knees. Drop them to the left side into our twist. And then allow this right arm to come over with us. Pressing into the right hand, right leg can go back. Left hand goes into the center as we gaze over the left shoulder. Left knee comes to the center of the mat a little bit more. As the right leg comes over, you can straighten that left leg and twist towards the right side. Remembering your options to stand, either stepping forward, twisting, or knees together and stepping back to the top of your mat. We've got one more round. We're nearly there. We'll inhale, sweep the arms up, palms come together. Right leg steps back as the arms slice down, separate the knee, open back up into the sky. We come back through our goddess shape, turning to the back of your mat and windmill open to your warrior 2. Reverse, left arm down the left leg, right arm over the head. And then right arm to the right thigh, left arm comes over. Keep the circle going. The hand comes all the way down to the mat as we lower the left knee and twist the right arm up. We come through our pyramid, straightening the legs, right hand to the right leg, turn out the left foot and lift the left arm up to our triangle shape. Coming all the way back up to standing, hands to the hips, and turn to the back of your mat. Left foot forward, front of your mat, sorry, front. Lift up the right leg. That was just there to confuse you. Coming into our warrior three. We're going to lower the right leg down. So as we lower that right knee, the arms come up. See if we can sink the landing with the arms to the sky. Drop the right hand down the right leg on the back and push the hip forward. We windmill our hands to frame the front foot and slide the left leg back into that three-legged tabletop. Tucking the left toes, push into the ground and pull the right knee into the chest. And then push back three-legged downward facing dog. Feet join together. Knees drop down to the earth tabletop pose. Left leg extends back. Left arm over the head. Side stretch. Maybe lift that left leg up. We bend the left knee, ground the left foot, toes to the back of the mat, and join it with the right, lowering the bum down. Straightening your legs. Left arm reaches to the right leg, and this right arm comes up and over, traveling to that left leg. We pull back. We take the elbows to cross either eagle or grab the shoulders and come through our boat pose, dropping onto the back. Legs go up. Arms unravel into cactus. We bend the knees, drop them to the right side into that twist, and let your left arm float over with you. Pushing down through the left hand to slide the left leg back, right hand to the center of the mat, and gazing over the right shoulder. Good, maybe shift that right knee back to the center a bit as we sweep this left leg over, twisting towards the left. Final twizzle. Can your brain work? Let's see if mine can. Twist to the right, coming all the way back up to standing. And we pause. And just let all of that movement, all of that motion disintegrate for a moment. Let it go. Breathing nice and slowly. Feeling your heartbeat, your breath, the flow that's now here in the stillness that can be sensed within the body. So we're going to grab hold of our bolster or our pillow and just bring it down into the center of our mats, coming onto your hands and your knees. And maybe just taking a few cat-cows, creating a bit of movement in your spine, or you can move freely just to release any lasting tension that you might feel in your body. Creating a bit of movement here today. Good. And then we can either bring the hands onto the bolster and sink into a child pose position, or we can take a puppy variation, so bringing the full head down and the arms reach forward. So whichever feels better for your knees. I'm going to go into the child pose, getting a stretch through the back. The head doesn't have to touch the floor. You don't have to use the bolster, but it feels quite nice just to get an extra stretch through the arms. It feels really lovely. I'm just going to work for the latter part of the practice, slowing the body down, working with the spine, and breathing into the areas of the body that might need a little bit extra breath. Just let everything begin to settle. Allow your body a chance to recover. One more breath in whatever pose we're in, as we're then going to come forward, leaving our pillow or our bolster there. Bring the hands over and drop the elbows to the opposite side of the bolster, bringing the chest to our bolster or support, into our supported Sphinx position, opening up through the front of the body. And if you need to wiggle the hips a little bit just to release the lower back, you can. Thinking about lengthening through the back of the skull rather than crunching into the neck and lifting the chin. So can we create space through the back line of the body, even in an extended variation? Maybe just checking in with the movement that's still flowing within the body. Heat, tingles, and just movement of skin, blood, everything that starts to pulsate when we become still. Maybe there's feelings flushing through. Maybe it's only now that you're like, ow, my legs hurt, or part of the body actually starts to awaken. So we're going to roll onto the right hip, bending the knees slightly and sliding the bolster or support into the curvature of your spine, so coming in towards the waist. And we can drape the body over, allowing the head to maybe rest onto the bicep. Maybe the left arm goes over the head. If this doesn't work for your body, just slide the right arm in front and bring the palms together, or that right arm can go over the head, left arm can go over the head, or you might want to have an extra cushion. So just make sure that you feel supported in your body. Your knees don't have to be together, they can be slightly staggered, but you won't want to necessarily have straight legs here. You want to kind of find a bit of balance for the body. And just allow the spine to open, breathing into the parts of the lungs that possibly don't get a lot of it kind of exposure to air, the shadowed areas of our lungs. Let the flow of breath reinvigorate the body after our movement. To slow things down and feel the flow of energy in a different way. Now, as we come out of this pose, release the left arm first, if it's over the head. And you might just want to gently push upright first. We are going to come into a bit of a back bend, but I want to give you choice. If you know that you haven't got a really deep curvature of your lower back, you may decide you want to take the bolster lengthways across the mat, come onto your bum and drop over this way. Especially if you're only using one prop, you can always bring extra cushions in. Or, if you know you're kind of happy, keep the bolster widthways. I like to bring the soles of the feet together to get the hips to open and melt your body over the bolster, making sure your head and roughly your shoulders come down to the floor. You can always bring something underneath the head, so an extra pillow. If your bum doesn't kind of touch the floor, it's not a massive deal. So don't give yourself too much of a hard time. And if you really want to practice this variation, but it feels too much strain on your back, take something smaller like a rolled up towel, or you can have your cushion here instead. And then just let your arms go where they feel the most comfortable. You can also straighten your legs. You can also bend your knees, but just be mindful that by bending the knees, it might feel more pressure into your lower back. By opening the hips, we create slight more curvature in your spine. Or come into the supported fish variation with the length of the spine supported by your bolster or cushion. And we'll breathe here, not too long, just opening and expanding through the front line of the body. Feeling that stretch. Noticing the flow of energy, sensation of blood. Can you feel that's moving and changing and shifting in your body? Just like our asanas, our postures. Things are constantly shifting and changing. Possibly not so taxing for the brain as we lie here, but potentially not that easy. Other things might rise up for us to explore. Now, if you have the bolster widthways across the mat and your spine's in a deep curvature here, you may just want to close the knees, roll over to the left side super slowly, be gentle on your body, bringing the left arm underneath the left ear and the right arm over, so in our side stretch on the other side. If you have come through the supported fish variation with the bolster lengthways, come back up to seated first, turn the bolster widthways, and then melt over. So we drop onto that left hip. I'm just going to turn around so I can still see you all. And then we get to drape the body over that support, bringing the left arm either down as a pillow, the right arm over, or if this feels uncomfortable, bring the left arm forward, palms can come together. And if you do need something underneath the head like a pillow, just make sure you have that support. We just soften here again, so we allow this moment of rest into the spine, feeling the pressure of the bolster, breathing gently and slowly, just noticing what we can feel in our bodies moving. There's always going to be flow, always going to be movement. Just allowing this to be felt in your body. Noticing anything that can be felt as we rest and slow the body down. We spend a lot of time fast-paced. What can we feel in the slowness, the subtleties of energy that are moving? Now very slowly we'll come out of this pose by bringing the right hand down and just gently lift the body up. And we can leave our bolster widthways across the mat and swing the legs over into a more comfortable forward fold. Now you have options. If you're like, I want a really deep stretch, then you can roll the bolster so it's underneath the ankles, and then we can fold in this way. Or if you want a bit more support underneath the knees, so a little less intense on the hamstrings, have this so that your knees are slightly bent. And we're just curling in, so we're taking this like inward roll. It's not about how far we can go into the posture, but can we just travel and curve your spine the opposite way? Just breathing here nice and slowly, letting your head maybe become heavy. And once again, just feeling the movement that's flowing through your body. Maybe just focusing on this wave-like breath that shifts in and out. Maybe we're noticing the movement of our bodies as we breathe, the belly rising and falling. Maybe feeling the tickles of sensation that shimmer through our bodies from moment to moment. Slowing this flow down so we can release the tension that we may have been carrying, that we may have needed. Tension is not bad in and of itself, but can we release the tension that's not required now? Now we're going to gently roll out of this shape, so slowly moving all the way up and out. And any final movements your body needs, maybe a few twists or just a stretch. We're going to come into Savasana, so we can keep the bolster if it's underneath the knees here. Maybe you might want to wrap yourself up warm if you're cold. And lying down flat so that you get comfortable and relaxed as best you can. Softening into the ground and allowing your entire body to settle, to soften. We can let go of all the focus of movement within the body and just imagine that we're floating. Either floating on a calming lake. Maybe the sun is shining down softly on our skin. The water is cool to touch, but our body is warm. And we're just drifting, nowhere to go, no rush. Creating the space for us to physically rest. And I will awaken you when it's time to move out of this position. Let's start to connect back to the body that's floating. Maybe draw a slow, deep breath into the belly. A long exhale, releasing. Perhaps starting gentle movements, rotating ankles and wrists. Maybe a nice big stretch as the arms reach over the head, the toes point away. We can yawn and even sigh as we soften. You might collect the legs in and perhaps rock on the lower back, just massaging the back into the ground. Let the head roll from side to side. And as you fall to one side, left or right, just pause in a bit of a fetal position here. Just take a moment in this pose. Gently push down through the free hand to lift the body up to a comfortable seated position for your body. Just taking our final moments together. As we inhale, we'll sweep the arms up to the sky, take a big stretch as the palms will connect. And exhaling the hands down towards the heart. You can bow the head softly forward. Thanking ourselves for our practice today. Challenging the body with movement, challenging the brain. And trying to find stillness, noticing the movement within. Namaste. Well done, everyone, and thank you for joining.